Verifying ingredient statements on food packaging. Within your food business, there's an activity that needs to be part of your verification processes, and that's the one around actually making sure that the information or the ingredient listing you have printed on your packaging is actually a true and correct reflection of what's actually in the food. So I'm just going to go through the process of how you go through and verify that ingredient statement against your packaging. So our first step is to go through and get your recipe. Check that the recipe that you have is the most current recipe, and it's the recipe that's being used by the production staff in order to manufacture that particular food product. Our next step is based on the raw materials or raw ingredients used in that particular recipe or formulation, is to go through and collect all the raw material specifications from your suppliers, and these are the most up-to-date and current specifications. When you've got all these raw material specifications in, you can also go and double check against their packaging just to make sure there's no major issues between the two. Our third step is to get a current ingredient statement from your actual product packaging. So get a copy of the label, get a copy of the packaging. We want to get all of these things lined out in front of us before we start doing our verification activity. And our final piece of evidence or a piece of information that we need to perform this process is to get our current finished product specification. So this is the specification that we have developed within our own food business, stating what the ingredient listings are for this particular product or for a particular product. So once we've got our 4 pieces of information or 4 groups of information in front of us, we can then set down to doing a comparison between what we have around our recipe and our raw materials to what is actually displayed on our finished product packaging and our finished product specification. Now this is generally quite an easy process because you can do it by elimination. Look what's on the raw material specs, make sure whatever's on those raw material specs is actually stated within your product packaging ingredient statement and on your finished product specification. Don't forget to take into account what your particular ingredient statement rules and regulations are for your particular country. So this activity should be done on a regular basis and included in your verification schedule.